Most people, without realizing it, destroy their own power the moment they open their mouths to defend themselves. Imagine the situation. Someone accuses you of something. Maybe it's unfair. Maybe it's exaggerated. Maybe it's completely false. What happens inside your mind? Almost instantly, an instinct rises. You feel the urge to explain, to justify, to clear your name. This reaction feels natural, even righteous. Yet in the very moment you give into it, something subtle and dangerous takes place. You surrender control of the frame. And in the world of power, the one who controls the frame controls the outcome. Only the weak feel the need to explain themselves. The very act of defending yourself suggests that the accusation carries weight. If it were absurd or irrelevant, why bother responding? By rushing to clarify, you validate the attack. You breathe life into words that might otherwise have died in the air. In this sense, defense is not strength, it is a concession. We are raised in a culture that teaches us from childhood to clear up misunderstandings and to explain our side of the story. Teachers demand explanations, parents want reasons, employers request justifications. In everyday life, this seems harmless. But in the realm of influence, leadership, and power, explanation is weakness disguised as fairness. Explanations shift the frame from strength to doubt. When someone accuses you and you defend, you are no longer setting the tone of the conversation. They are. You are responding on their terms. The moment you do that, you have already lost. The powerful understand something most people overlook: explanations rarely change minds. If someone wants to believe you are guilty, arrogant, dangerous, or untrustworthy, your explanation will not persuade them. At best, it will sound like pleading. At worst, it will sound like confirmation. This is why true power lies in silence. Silence is not weakness. It is dominance. When you stay silent in the face of an accusation, you project an aura of untouchability. The accuser expects you to react, to protest, to squirm. When you don't, they are left unsettled. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. In The Prince, he emphasized that rulers should never place themselves in a position where they look defensive. He noted that a man who rushes to defend himself gives people reason to doubt him. To defend is to concede that the accusation has at least some merit. To remain still and unbothered is to suggest that the accusation is beneath consideration. Picture a powerful man faced with a room full of enemies. They try to trap him with leading questions, to twist his words to provoke a reaction. If he falls into the trap and explains himself, they can keep pressing, twisting, and drawing him deeper into a net of weakness. But imagine instead that he sits calmly. He smiles. He does not flinch. He does not defend. Suddenly, the energy in the room shifts. The silence becomes heavy. The attackers begin to doubt themselves. Why isn't he responding? Why doesn't he deny it? Does he know something we don't? Is he hiding a greater truth? Or is he simply untouchable? Silence creates tension, and tension forces the other side to reveal their hand first. Another danger of defending yourself is predictability. Once you begin to defend, your enemy knows your rhythm. They know they can pull your strings, make you jump through hoops, and keep you on the back foot. In the game of power, predictability is fatal. The strongest players never let others dictate their moves. They control the pace, the timing, and the terms of the exchange. When you refuse to defend, you remain unpredictable. You cannot be cornered by words if you do not allow yourself to be pulled into the trap of explanation. Instead, you stand apart, calm still, a mystery. And it is mystery that generates both fear and respect. Silence is not the only tool. Sometimes, instead of defending, you can flip the script entirely. If someone calls you dangerous, why deny it? A simple nod can turn the word from an insult into a badge of power. If they accuse you of arrogance, a smile can make the accusation sound like admiration. By not defending you, transform their attack into fuel. Leaders, entrepreneurs, and public figures who rise above criticism do not waste time justifying themselves to every critic. They let their actions and results speak louder than words. Each attempt to label them only reinforces their larger-than-life image. The accusation no longer hurts them, it magnifies them. Human psychology is simple in one regard. What we cannot understand or control, we begin to fear. And what we fear, we eventually respect. If people throw accusations at you, but cannot get a reaction, they begin to see you as something beyond their grasp. This is why silence and restraint are so powerful. They turn you from just another player in the game into someone who seems to operate on a higher plane. People stop treating you like a peer to be debated and start treating you like a force to be reckoned with. Respect is far more valuable than approval. Approval fades. Respect endures. In today's world of social media and instant communication, the temptation to defend yourself has never been stronger. Every comment, every tweet, every rumor seems to demand a response. People are desperate to prove their innocence to set the record straight. But in truth, the more they explain, the weaker they look. History is filled with examples of leaders who fell not because of what was said about them, but because of how they reacted to it. By defending, they showed insecurity. By justifying, they revealed anxiety. And once that weakness was exposed, their enemies only pressed harder. On the other hand, those who resist the urge to explain often outlast the storm. Accusations fade. Attention moves elsewhere. Meanwhile, their silence has only deepened their mystique. Machiavelli was not writing for cowards. He was not offering survival tips for the timid. He was teaching rulers, leaders, and anyone who wished to hold power how to maintain control in a hostile world. His principle was simple: never defend. The modern world may look different from Renaissance Italy, but human psychology has not changed. People still respect those who do not scramble to justify themselves. They still admire strength that does not bend to the demand for explanations. And they still fear the individual who seems unshaken by attack. To live by this principle does not mean becoming cold or heartless. It means recognizing when words are traps. It means valuing presence over protest, stillness over scrambling, power over pity. In practice, this means that when someone questions your worth, you do not argue, you demonstrate. Let your results speak. Let your success become the rebuttal. When someone calls you arrogant, you do not bend or apologize. You smile knowing that confidence always offends the insecure. When someone accuses you of being dangerous, you do not deny it. You let the idea linger, knowing that a reputation for danger often protects you more than an argument ever could. And above all, it means that when they cannot provoke a reaction from you, they are left with nothing but their own fear. Properly managed, that fear transforms into respect. You do not owe the world your defense. You owe it your domination. To defend nothing is to concede nothing. To explain nothing is to surrender nothing. Instead, build so much power that your very existence becomes the only explanation anyone needs. Machiavelli's wisdom remains as relevant now as it was centuries ago. He did not write to comfort the weak. He wrote to instruct the strong. His first rule for those who would rule was clear: never defend. To live this way is not easy. It requires discipline, restraint, and the courage to endure silence when others demand noise. But those who master it find themselves elevated above the crowd, respected, feared, and untouchable. So the next time someone tries to trap you with words, remember, you are not required to explain. You are not obligated to defend. Smile, stay still, and let the silence burn. Defend nothing, rule everything. In life, the moment you rush to defend yourself, you hand over your power. Machiavelli taught us that silence, not explanation, is the true mark of strength. When you stop justifying people, stop doubting, and start respecting. Power grows, not from pleading your case, but from remaining calm, still, and unshaken. Let your results speak. Let silence burn, and you'll find that those who once tried to attack you will fear and admire you instead. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective might inspire someone else. And don't forget to subscribe for more timeless lessons on power, resilience, and inner strength.